Daar's hy. Ons is live.
Lekker, ek weet jy ons wag. Het gaan nou wys. Is net die delay.
Hè?
Hey, Whitey.
Ja.
The world tongue twister champion just got arrested.
What?
I hear they're gonna give him a really tough sentence.
Kyk Chris.
Yes, Whitey.
How do you make a tissue dance?
I don't know.
You put a little boogie in it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chris.
Whitey. Hey,
Yeah.
Whitey.
Yeah.
I just written a song about tortillas. Actually, it's more of a rap.
Chris,
Yes.
I don't play soccer because I enjoy the sport. I'm just doing it for the kicks.
Oh my God. Hey, Whitey.
Ja.
Velcro. What a rip-off.
Kom ons gaan live.
Right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes, allemaal, welkom by nog 'n episode, 'n laat episode van Cyril Rammel, ek bedoel, hy sê bros.
The Real Talk and Adventure Show. Bro, hoe was jou dag?
Ja, Napel, dit was besig. Ek was vrek besig. Baie tee verkoop, baie sop verkoop.
Ja.
Loop hoor.
Hoor,
En
weet jy
ons
wat-
het die trokkie gaan haal.
Ons het ons trokkie gaan haal, man. Dankie Franco Kaap van Mahindra in Pretoria North.
Yes.
Dude, ons gaan in luxury af. Dis 'n moerse lekker cabbie. Hy ry so lekker en
Yes.
man, ons gaan net dit gaan awesome wees. You guys are gonna get all the footage and stuff of that when we're done. Ek het klaar feeling ons gaan baie gesyp word daarso onder by die kus. Ons gaan breek. Ons gaan
Ja, want hulle het genoeg dop daarso. Hulle het genoeg dop daarso.
Ja, hulle het baie. Maar
But
dude,
listen, yes.
yeah.
Praat met my.
Ons is blessed vandag, man. Ons het fucking comedy royalty hier so, papi.
Absolutely comedy
Straight
royalty.
up, man.
And because we are late, we're going to get right into it. So guys,
Yes.
welcome to Mr. Alan Committie. What's up, Alan? Yeah. Boom, bitches.
No.
Come on, here, bro.
I'm wearing ek dra my bril because I see it's bril night. I see we're all got little brilletjies op, so ek sit my brilletjie op dan voel ons almal saam.
You know why I wear glasses?
Go on, tell me.
Because my doctor said, listen, you got to stop masturbating or you got to wear glasses. So I was like, okay, I'll wear glasses then. So, here we go, man. Yeah.
As long as you don't need glasses to see what you're masturbating.
To masturbate.
Hi, Alan. Welcome. Hi, Sean. How's it going?
Stuck in. Well, you know what? Like we told you, Alan, with our crowd, the guys really get into it. You'll see all of them. They're going to be chatting lekker to us. But let's first get into Mr. Alan Committie. Alan,
That's what
tell
she
us.
said. Hey.
Hey!
On fire, this guy, bro, on fire. How did you get into comedy? What made you go like, you know what? I actually think I'm funny. Fuck, I must do this for a living, man.
So, okay, here's the story. I grew up in a beautiful part of the world in Vanderbijl Park. Shout out to Vanderbijl, lekker, mooi, lekker.
Vita,
When I was about 5 or 6 years old, remember Boswell Wilkie Circus used to do the tour. They used to go from
I remember them so
town
well.
to town.
Yes.
And they had all the little clowns. And I remember my folks took me to the circus, and literally the kind of obvious story, I fell in love with the clowns. I looked at these clowns. I remember giggling that I weed in my pants. I said to my parents, can we go back and watch another one? And so I saw the circus for 3 years in a row. And then I said to my mom, I was about 6 or 7 years old. I said, so basically that's my destiny. I'm going to join the circus and become a clown. And obviously she didn't listen to me. She didn't listen to me until I was about 23. So she went, yeah, that's fine. Pick up your shoes. And then I was about 10. And I remember I went to her and I said, listen, I've done some reading. I used to love reading. And in all the books that I'd read, all those Enid Blytons, and they always said that the kids ran away with the circus, but you had to do it when you were young. Yeah. And I said to her, I'm 10 now. It's in my 11th birthday coming up. It's surely time. The next time Boswell Wilkie comes around, I should be with him.
Yeah.
And she went, what? And I said, I'm going to be a clown. And she said, no, you're not going to be get up. So, but at that point, in my mind, I knew I was going to be a performer. And when I got into standard 5, I had a very tricky conversation. By then we had moved to Cape Town. My dad had joined the Navy. My dad was working class electrician. My mom was, a housewife. We were working class poor folk. And I said to them, I'm going to become an actor. And I think the best piece of performance I ever saw was my dad trying to show support to me without standing up and saying, don't be up. So he went, that's brilliant. Yeah. I love that you have a dream and I support you. Now, if I could be as good an actor as he was in that moment, I'm going to be a
then you may, dude.
Yes, but he did his job, man. It was amazing. Yeah. Both of them supported me. And so through high school, I did all the kind of typical things, the art stuff, the school productions. But I also promised my folks early on that because acting was such a kind of risky business, that I would do something as a backup. And so by the time I got into high school, I knew I was going to do teaching as a backup. And so my path was kind of set for me. I left drama school. I left high school and I was an A student. I could have done all kinds of exciting things. Instead, I went off to drama school.
Which one?
Straight out of drama school. I went to UCT. We were in Cape Town at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'd moved. My dad had kind of been, to the Navy, and we spent all my high school in Cape Town. And then UCT, and then straight out of UCT into a teacher's diploma at UCT as well. And so I qualified as a high school teacher. So I taught for the first 6 years of my acting career, and I taught part-time. Yeah. When I look back at that, I realized how fortunate that was because it gave me a couple of things. It gave me a small but a steady income every year, every month. Something that I could steal 1,000 rand away and keep saving. And that was money that I could then put to my first shows. I put by the third year of teaching, I did a one-man Richard III in which I played all 37 characters because I knew no one was going to kind of cast me. And that show cost me 3,000 rand. I made 4,500. I then took that money and did a show in Cape Town. I made 2,000 rand on top of that. I then took that and did 2 different shows. And so basically that little bit of money, plus, if I look back, the start of an audience, because the kids that I was teaching for those first 4 or 5 years, their parents came to watch my first shows. And they stayed and they told friends. And so it was the building of it wasn't conscious, but it was the building of a brand that started 24 years ago.
That's awesome, man, because I did drama. I went to NSA in Johannesburg, and I ended up being a freaking musician.
But, there's so many roads to wherever we go to. This is the thing I say to, people say, why do I study drama? If you have a passion and you want to do drama or anything in the arts, the thing about the arts is you can end up anywhere. You could end up wearing those beautiful earphones that you're wearing right now and sitting with that. It looks like your queen-size duvet that was stolen from your wife that she's hanging up behind you.
This is just to hide my shack. That's all. This is hiding the shack. My paraffin stove is going here. That's the light. I'm burning mega paraffin here. But
he's cooking his pap on Mutu.
So obviously, you know what? I just saw Bradley Fabian. He's in the States. He's in where? Waar's hy van?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio, and he knows fucking that you are Johan van der Walt.
Johan van der Walt, does it?
Yeah, it's amazing. So the Johan van der Walt thing came about. That was quite interesting. The character was born in a corporate that I did in Joburg. So I had started doing some corporate work. I was doing a little bit of stand-up. No, very little stand-up. I was doing kind of sketch shows in theaters, one-man shows, and starting to do some stand-up. And I did a corporate. A friend of mine, Jackie, said, we've got a big company and we need a character that you must create that can lead a group of 100 people through 6 different rooms. Yeah. can you maybe play a tour guide? And I thought about it, and I thought, this guy must have the wrong information. The whole thing about it is that he must stuff up the tour. I said, well, let him not be a tour guide. Why isn't he the security guard? The tour guide hasn't turned up. Let's make him the security guard who has to take the tour, and he thinks he knows what he's doing, but of course he fucks it up.
There's a plot for something really funny, man. Yeah.
Completely. I said, get me a safari suit, get me a holster. We were going to get a gun. We couldn't get a gun on the day. That was the beginning of the cell phone. Ek het 'n groot ou cell phone gehad. I shoved that into the holster, and it worked. People immediately laughed. I thought, okay, that's going to be fun. The first 2 times I did Johan van der Walt, I didn't have the teeth. I just had a snort, a fake snort, and my own hair. And it went down so well that the corporate company said, let's do another one next month for a different setup, which we then did. And on the back of that, this Johan van der Walt character started. So Van der Walt was my ex-drama teacher at school, Willem van der Walt. That was where that name came from.
Look at
and
this,
he used to wear
circle.
he used to wear these white material shoes.
Yeah.
You know, those awful kind of material shoes. So I found I've looked since. They're now out of stock. You can't get them anywhere. But I've got 2 pairs which I look after like they're gold.
Yes.
And I then went and bought the last safari suits in Cape Town. So I've got about 12 pairs of safari suits. If anyone broke into my house, they would leave without stealing anything for fear of what they had broken into. And then, of course, the teeth arrived. And so Johan van der Walt was born. And I used to do him in my stand-up shows. And then Bobby Heaney saw me in one of my shows and said, let's put you on Laugh Out Loud. He was about to start directing the Laugh Out Loud TV show. And so, of course, Johan van der Walt got a spot on TV. And then the rest is history. He kind of took on a life of his own.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been fortunate enough. I saw you in Defending the Caveman, because I saw the Afrikaans version first, which was quite funny. Yeah. And then I had to come and watch the English one.
Bless you.
And you know what? It's been a while since I've been in theater. But that was seriously like one of the funniest stuff, because the way that show is written, who wrote it, man?
A guy called Rob Becker.
Yes,
Rob Becker, and he's an American guy, and he took it on Broadway, Broadway first in 1990, and they were expecting it to run for a very short while, and it suddenly it took fire, and it took fire in that country, and in all the countries it's played subsequently, and of course in South Africa, between Tim Plewman and myself, Tim did 1,400 performances, I did 900, I was just short of 1,000, so almost 2,000 shows over 15 years. And it took off because everyone has a story or a investment.
They can relate to it. Yeah, big time, man. Because it's one of the few stuff where you get into a woman's head and you get into a guy's head. It's you just find that balance where you're like, oh
completely.
my God, I know exactly what this guy's talking about. Yeah.
Whether you're single or you're married or you started dating, or everyone has a story. And even if you're single, it's the stories you see in your friends or in your family.
Yeah.
So I did that for 9 years. It was extraordinary. It was one of the great pleasures of my life, and I loved it. And the only reason we stopped in the end was because the rights holders in America, who had bought the royalties from Rob Becker, the original writer, he sold them off. They got greedy, and they moved from an 18% royalty to a 50% royalty. And so we had to. So we just said, what's going to be? So then I wrote my follow-up, a sequel to it, which I called Love Factually. And that I still do. In fact, I want to do an online version of that in the coming months because I think it'll be fun to kind of unpack. But it's basically it's the Caveman next edition, because of course now people find each other on Tinder and Bumble and all these online sites. Every show I now do, there's at least one Tinder marriage. I mean, people now find each other online and get married. It's a beautiful thing. You have an opportunity to meet people in a far wider range.
Yeah, because obviously you've been fucking on stage. I mean, you did Stress for Success, Stress to Kill, One Man, One Remote, TV or Not TV, Titanic on Ice, Once Upon a Laugh with what's it, Robin Scott.
That's it.
Dracula Unclotted, Dick and Die, The Clown Jewels Part 2 and The Clown Jewels Part 1.
24 one-man shows over the years. I try and do one
shit.
every year. So the one I did in December now, which hasn't come to Joburg, it was meant to be there already. In fact, we would have finished our run about 3 weeks ago at Monty, is The Lying King. And it was so we're hoping to bring it to Monty still in November. Let's hope this lockdown madness has an end point, because, it's just been a complete shambles for all of us. I'm sure you agree.
Listen, I'm sure you can relate to this. all this lockdown cuck must give you so much fucking material that you probably don't know where to look anymore.
No, you say that. You
Yeah.
say that, but actually the other side is also true, because we all have this. There's only one thing on all of our lips is lockdown.
Yeah.
Nothing else is happening. I think we
Corruption.
were happy for the riots in America for that month,
Yeah.
because at least there was something else to talk about.
Something else
The
mattered.
lockdown-
Yeah.
It's exactly, for the first time in ages, and
Yeah.
and as quick as, and you can say a lot of the comedians have been chatting about this, when we talk to each other, the problem is that the jokes and the memes and the Facebook posts come out within seconds. It's so hard to get a handle on. Everyone's seeing the same stuff. So actually, it's actually not that easy. It's nicer to have a range of stuff happening, and everyone's got different reference points. So I am really looking forward to the end of this pandemic, so we can get back to whatever this new normal is going to be.
Yeah.
Like
The
you say,
new
whatever
normal.
it's going to be,
What
the
is
new
gonna
normal.
be the new normal?
Fucking hell, I don't know.
No
don't
one
know.
knows, and
No.
we can speculate as much as we want. You guys in Joburg and Gauteng are being hit hard now. We've come. I think we've come through the worst. I'm talking to you from Cape Town at the moment.
Yeah.
And we've had it tough, but it seems to be the numbers are kind of getting a little better now. Who knows what that means? It doesn't mean anything as a country, because as a country we're still stuffed. And
And with the government we have, it's even more stuff.
listen, I will.
It goes
say,
with
no,
those
you're not
memes,
wrong.
man. Yeah.
I
Have you
will
seen
say,
that?
I don't think
sorry?
there's any government. I will say that I don't think there's any government that's going to get this 100% right. It's a stuff up on all levels. But
ours got it 100% wrong.
yeah, I was going to say we have found some
Fucking-
fantastic ways of making a gemors
It's
of
worse.
Groot kak
big time.
gemors, my friend. Fucking baie
Yes,
bad.
day. Yeah.
It's like, you know what, when they say, who's bailing out the stuff now? They gave another, 3 billion.
Yeah.
And then the first meme you
IMF.
see is like all these guys running.
Yes.
And it's like, the ANC
That's right.
coming to like collect their new the tenders and
That's
shit.
right.
It's cock funny. But the first joke that I thought of was, especially in Cape Town, because you're in Cape Town, was those ambulances they bought for like fucking
With
I
the
don't know how many-
sidecars.
with the
Yeah.
sidecars, but it's a
Amazing.
scooter it's a delivery vehicle. It's what it
Listen,
is.
the one thing I will tell you is South Africans, we Mark Planner, we MacGyver situations, we will sort out, we will do whatever. I see you smoking there. I don't even want to ask how you got it, but you've
It's
made
Zol.
your plan. You sorted it out. It's all good.
I do legal stuff. I don't do illegal stuff. Let's just say this is Zol. It's Zol.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just keep quiet that where he found that Azol.
Yeah. This was sponsored. You know, we get a lot of sponsorships now from very famous people. This was sponsored by the Zuma family. They actually have guys delivering it for us. And you know what? I'm grateful for them. They're really helping us through this time. Thank you.
Excellent. It's community.
you know.
That's what it is.
That's
I've heard
community, man. Yeah.
We've heard from a couple of our previous Cape Town guests that apparently it's quite expensive to do what Chris is currently doing in Cape Town.
Yeah.
It's like
Dude,
double the
I'm so
price
glad
in
I
Cape
don't
Town than
smoke.
Joburg.
Yesterday, people are paying ridiculous amounts of money.
I'll be smoking fynbos, sticking.
Yes, sis. I tell you, the money I wish I got into this business. This is the business.
It's phenomenal, and
crazy.
especially now because of the lockdown and the restrictions, the cost of the guys that own this stuff is making a killing.
Huge amounts. It's prohibition from the 1930s. We're creating mafias again. We're creating gangs.
Yeah.
We're creating a whole underground network that's going to make some people a load of money and the rest of us very, very poor.
That's why when this shit happened,
Check
the moment
hey.
the moment our police minister came up, when the lockdown happened, the president was in camos and shit, and he spoke to the troops and stuff.
Right.
And then our defense minister and the police guy, he's standing there with the mafia cap and a fancy freaking
Never mind
Armani
that.
suit and shit, dude. It's
Never mind
funny.
that. Did you guys hear in the news today that at that ANC guy that they had the funeral for, three top-ranking army officials were standing caught smoking cigarettes at the funeral?
Yeah.
So where did they get their smokes from?
From the same guys I
Becky,
got mine
Clele?
from, dude.
Becky, where you now? Where you now? Becky, you said if you catch people smoking outside
That's
of the
it.
houses, they have to prove on a fucking
That's
receipt
it.
where they got it
Yeah.
from. Army, where do you get your smokes from? Ja. Mos is mos die groen goed op seerotse.
Yeah,
Ja,
it
mos.
is. Yeah, Mos.
Okay, I want to change the subject here a little bit and talk to
Yes.
Whitey about this Dibarki, want this by like you look like Jopie Adams' lesbian brother. There's a do you remember Jopie Adam met Ben die Beer?
Ek onthou Jopie arm baie goed.
Yes, dis 'n mooi baard daai. Is that
Prachtig.
complicated from lockdown?
You know what? It's just the Yeti became too strong in him, and he couldn't fight it anymore. And now it's just coming out because that's that Viking blood. Whenever they
Yeah, Viking.
yeah, in children's books, whenever you read or saw pictures of a giant that
Yeah.
ate kids, it was one with a red beard, and it was 'n moerse ou met 'n rooi baard.
Ja, I'm
That's
a soul
right.
eater. I'm a soul
Jy's die
eater.
duiwel van die kinderbybel, my vriend.
Exactly.
Bliksem,
Ek dink ek is net die duiwel van die Bybel, punt.
Now tell me, Alan, what have you been doing to like stay busy? Now, obviously you are busy writing a bit of new material and working on a
Yeah.
new play, but
Yeah.
have you done a bit of stand up on the
Yeah.
on the virtual side of stuff?
I've been lucky enough that there's been some virtual and online corporates.
Yeah.
The first issue with them is, the first couple of weeks of this lockdown, everyone was trying to work it all out, and you quickly realize that, for example, if it's a smaller group of 20 to 40 people on a
Yeah.
Zoom platform or a StreamYard like this, where you
Yeah.
can have all the delegates' video and mic open, it's actually
Yeah.
quite fun. It's like this. You feel geestig, there's a gezelligheid, it's all fun.
That's
If
a
you do
vibe.
anything bigger, and I did one or two for like 300 delegates where they cut everything off and it's just me talking. There's nothing more lonely. I might as well be
No.
out in space. It's
Yeah.
just awful. And so
can do
we
a
learned
pre-recording.
quickly about what worked and what didn't. I've had a number of those I've been grateful for. I did an online show kind of early on that first month of lockdown, which was lacquer. We got 4,000 odd people tuning in, which was really fantastic. And I'm doing a second one now on the 15th of August. We announced yesterday, called Streaming with Laughter. And it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it because for the first time, we're going to have a little live audience. We're going to get 15 to 18 socially distanced people sitting in the studio. We found a nice studio that can accommodate that. And then we'll stream out as well. But it means there'll be an atmosphere and a mood in the room, which I think is going to make a huge difference.
Because you know what,
I'm
the first
excited.
the first comedian I saw do that was Dave Chappelle, who's also one of my favorite comedians.
Oh, brilliant.
And, I saw that thing, what's it called, 8 seconds or
That's right.
or
He put it on
8 minutes
YouTube,
or something.
8 minutes, yeah.
And okay, obviously that was more a personal thing for him. It wasn't
Sure.
just about laughter, but I mean, with Dave Chappelle, that guy can just talk about anything, and
No,
you find
completely. And I'm
humor in it.
I did a gig for Spear Estate here recently, and they
Winery, yeah.
does they? Well, not winery. It's no winery. It's just Spear now. That Spear has no point anymore. And so, and they introduced this idea. So we had an audience. And I tell you, this was about 10, 15 days ago. I phoned friends on my drive home that night. I was so excited. I phoned 4 comic friends and said, I had a little erection on stage tonight. It was so nice to play to a live audience. I was only asked to do 20 minutes. I could have done 75 in my sleep. It was just fantastic. So really
awesome.
looking forward to the 15th of August. I think that's going to be fun.
So, Alan, do you obviously you interact more with the physical crowd and stuff than what you do on a digital platform? What do you miss the most about like live shows?
I mean, obviously that it's not even just chatting to the people. People say, "Oh, you need someone to." It's just the energy that your performance, the nature of the performance just goes. It changes quite radically when you have a connection with people in the room, when they feed off, and that's just about them looking and watching and responding, laughing or not laughing or staring. But there's something there, and that's what makes live theatre so powerful. It's why when you watch anything that they've put, the National Theatre from London or any of these big theatre companies have put out their productions digitally, And as brilliant as they filmed, and they filmed magnificently, there's still something missing. It doesn't have that live energy, and you only get that when you're watching a concert or having a live comedy room at park or whatever it is. You only get that live in the room, and so that's the big thing that I miss. But we're learning new stuff. The nice thing about these online platforms is I've been able to play to people who've not seen me before, people in the different parts of the country who haven't got to Joburg or Cape Town or East London, a couple of places that I've played. So they go, oh, you haven't been to Durban, which I haven't. I haven't played Durban for years. And suddenly I've got a whole lot of people from Durban going, oh, now we're watching your stuff. So there's always a positive to come out of it, which is nice.
Yeah. Has your social platforms and stuff actually grown a bit since this lockdown?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've tried to use it cleverly. It goes through waves, doesn't it? Like it's really been interesting, the pandemic, because they talk about the corona coaster and we feel it like our moods every day. You just, as you open your eye, you think, oh, okay, what's today going to be like? Am I going to be murach? Am I going to be in a good, and you feel that on social media as well. So those first 3 or 4 weeks, there was let's do this, and connecting with people. You remember people said you can connect with friends that you haven't spoken to for ages. Well, there's a reason why we haven't spoken to some people for ages. So some people phone me up and I think, no, I'm not taking that call. So that first month or 5 weeks, certainly there was a lot of excitement on the social media. I feel like in the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been a bit more, people have got tired. They've got a bit of, they're gut full of everything. They're angry. They're upset. They don't want to be online anymore. I think that's going to change again. I think that phase we're going to get back August, September, because we know it's not over yet. I think people will come back and there'll be a better sense of community. So you've got to read that mood as well, if you can.
Absolutely, man. Because I know me and Whitey, look, we were 2 weeks into the lockdown and we thought, okay, listen, we're going to lose our freaking minds if we don't do something.
Correct.
Whitey's an entertainer in his own right. And obviously I'm a musician and we decided to do this. And the one thing that I find myself doing now in the mornings is while you're having a cup of coffee, you checking how many new likes and stuff you got on a page. Because on Facebook, you need 10,000 guys before you can actually start making a bit of money. And on YouTube, you need 1,000 people to start monetizing. And it's literally every time we get an extra 1,000, we're ecstatic.
It makes a huge difference. No, it's amazing.
Yeah. But we're getting there, man. And you know what? I must be honest, the SA Bros Army is just behind us all the way. And I know they're just phenomenal, man.
And these guys... People want to be entertained. They want to laugh. They want to be. They want interesting stuff. They want to connect. That's all we want to do. We want to connect. This has been a hard thing. The weird thing is that we feel so. Even though we're all in the same boat, and it's an awful boat, and it's a sinking boat, we don't feel together. And these are moments that create a community. I talk about the community of laughter in a comedy show. That's important. When you laugh with somebody else and you become aware that somebody else is laughing at the same thing, you realize you're not alone. Oh, we have the same problems or the situations.
100%.
And I think that's important.
100%. And what I've also realized, Alan, we've had a working relationship for a very long time. And Chris have had a working relationship with a lot of people for a very long time. And this whole lockdown, we've actually gotten to know the people on a more personal level better, because look, some of these entertainers and so that we chat to, we are friends with, and others are not. It's we nice and kind and so on to each other when we chat to each other, but it's not like, how's it, Alan? Let's go for a dog. Let's have a smoke, whatever.
We're work colleagues in many ways. Yeah.
Well, yes, we are work colleagues, and this platform has, besides entertain the crowds, we actually got to know the people that we've worked for so many years, which is absolutely amazing. So,
and you know what? I think this platform's done is it's actually opened people's eyes to. They always see the stage personalities or the kind of guys people are on stage and so on, or on screen. And now when they actually hear them as like just ons bras, we're having a lekker chat and stuff.
That's it.
They're all going like, oh my God, that guy's actually freaking a lekker bra. Or, I know for a fact that everybody we've had on the show, we really connected with everybody. Sometimes Whitey connects more, sometimes I connect more, but there's something about entertainers that I think sets us apart from other human beings. It's a mindset that we can find positivity and funniness in pretty much anything, even though you're depressed. You know, I know so many comedians that are totally depressed people, but they're the funniest people on earth. Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing about comedians and performers particularly is that in order to be in this business, the thing that draws you to it initially, whether you're young or whenever you decide you want to enter the arts, is that there's a sensitivity or an openness to picking stuff up, energies, listening to stuff. You know, comedians are brilliant at listening to snippets of conversation, watching people's behavior, and then putting it through a filter. I always say to the world, to people, I look at the world with a different, you look at it straight on, and I'm looking at it just from this angle. It's just slightly off kilter, but that off kilter makes a huge difference. So when we're in the bank and we're both getting pissed off because the teller does something, you go home and you're pissed off. I go home and I'm pissed off. You're pissed off for an hour. I'm pissed off for 43 minutes. And then suddenly I go, yes, that could be funny if I
There's a funny thing in this,
and I do it from the bank. And suddenly I work something that still made me pissed off or happy or sad or nervous or scared. And it becomes a comedy bit later. And that's what I do. Some people turn it into a song. Some people write poetry. Some people create an artwork out of it. That's what I do. I talk silliness about it.
Yeah,
exactly. And now what we realized with me that came out in this show is you must try and watch some of our videos. I tend to two things. I tend to mess up the client's name. So we actually now doing where we go out to companies, adventure companies, skydiving and so on, to go re-promote the business and advertise on our social media pages to get them, help them get back up on their feet again. And I've got a tendency to mess names up. I forget the company's name. So I take that and I put a lot of funny things like memes and so on together, and these noises together to make myself look like an idiot.
But it's a gift if you can laugh at yourself.
Very important.
3 steps ahead, man.
Now the second thing is I'm putting myself through pain. Last week Friday we went to Nude Skin and Nails, and the lady said they were gonna thread my eyebrow hair. And they're gonna wax my nose hair. Now, Alan, I did the threading, and we put it on Facebook, and it was the funniest thing people have watched. And I thought to myself, hang on, let me take it further and because when a big guy gets hurt, it's the funniest thing on earth. It is so funny.
Because it's like a girl, dude. It's the funniest thing when she's threading his eyebrows. Like, what is covered in tattoos and stuff now?
Yeah, everything. I'm fucking.
So he's a massive guy. If you see him, he's intimidatingly big and shit. And now he's lying there and he's going,
Apparently, it's ridiculously painful.
Funny.
Was it?
It's extremely.
It is. It's
We
horrible.
must show you.
Let's show. We're going to show you quickly.
I'll show you. You'll just hear this, because I can get into a fight with a midget and nobody's going to pull me off. That's how short I am. and now I'm filming this cock with him getting threaded and waxed and cock. Alan, this is the funniest cock you've ever seen. But I was wiping tears out of my eyes the whole time. I couldn't stop laughing. And the more pain he's in, the more I'm like cracking up. I was
nothing
like,
funnier than pain in somebody else.
Exactly.
Especially when the guy's 6'8".
Yeah.
That's it. Yes, are you 6'8"?
I'm 6'8", 170 kilos.
Yo.
That's a baie
Sam, that's a man, Alan. That's a man.
All right.
Blood
so
sucks
go.
him.
The incredible sulk.
Yeah.
Chickas.
Uh-oh.
Here come the... This is so funny. Sarah's tattoos?
I can't work that back because he made me laugh.
Is it Sarah's tattoos?
Ja! It's near. Tattoos is niks nie. Tattoos is niks. Hier is seer.
Dude, this goes on.
That is brilliant.
Now, let me get it where I was waxed.
Oh
My nose hair was
God.
waxed. That's a short video, but you're gonna laugh your ass off.
I love that my cheeks were popping, Alan. I know there's a delay now, guys.
No. Can we not do it? It's too late now.
Take a deep breath. For the pain. There you go. Fine. It's chicken noses.
That is brilliant. Beautifully edited as well.
Thank
Alan,
you.
if you were there, that would have made up for all the times people laughed at you. You could have been on the other side, my friend. It was so lekker. I laughed. All the laughing I missed out on the whole freaking lockdown, that made up for it. It was so funny.
That's perfect. So how are your noses now? All lovely, and your eyebrows look magnificent. And
He's a free flow boot.
Hang on.
that's it.
He can walk in the East Rand now and
Yeah.
free flow.
Actually, fuck, Chris, kyk hoe groei die kak weer terug.
So jy's dis die Yeti wat uitkom, dude.
I'm a caveman.
You are a caveman, sir. You are the original.
Yes. The
Yeah.
original. And you know what? We even found him a character, which is the Sora chick. Now, I used to have a band, Bernie Boer. We did that freaking Richelieu song. And that's how I actually met Whitey. And then Whitey, we designed a character for him where he's in drag.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, my God. This
Her
is...
name is Sarah.
Mwah. Her name is
Well,
Sarah.
yes, it's-
Now,
Alan.
she's a proper water buffalo.
Oh my God! Because there's a whole backstory about how we found her in the caves, and you know we tamed her, but we can't shave her beard off because it just breaks blades and shit. We tried with electrical stuff, nothing works. It just grows on this thing. The hair's unbreakable.
And everything she drinks and eats is Richelieu. Her morning tea, she says it's tea, but it's Richelieu. Her coffee is Richelieu. Her soppies is Richelieu. It's just
Richelieu.
it's a cave
Beautiful.
monster.
Yeah.
It's a cave monster.
Oh,
And
man.
she married a guy called Frick. He's a sheep farmer from Katu, there in the Northern Cape, and he's 4'0".
That's perfect. Love it. But you know who
There
the
you
two
go.
of you are? You're also Asterix and Obelix. Did you ever read that when you were growing up?
Of
Oh
course,
yes, that was state.
Boing.
Yeah. So you're Asterix and you're Obelix. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I did fall into the magic potion.
The cauldron. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Dude, Halloween parties and stuff gaan nooit weer dieselfde wees nie.
En jy, bro?
Always gonna chuck him into Obelix.
Dogmatics.
Fucking ja, met the
Dogmatics. Ons sal
Ja.
die shanky banana vat. Chris se fucking on. And
Yes.
and that will be dogmatics.
Dogmatics, and I can. That's Alan. You're a legend, dude. You just gave me the best idea. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Oh, it don't.
Oh no, is he gone?
No, he's not gone, but
He's
yes.
gone.
Shit,
Damn it.
man. Now I'm
Sy
sure he'll
airtime
be
is
back.
klaar.
Nee, hy sal terug wees, man.
Ja.
Ek kan
Kyk
weet
wat
dit.
sê Cindy.
What do you have to do it again?
do it again. This time with Lizzie standing next to you saying, "Shame, baby, it's going to be okay." With Chris laughing and then Lizzie slapping you and telling you to stop being a baby. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Oh, you're back, Alan. Welcome back.
I'm back.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Was that the phone call?
No, it was. I just switched my Wi-Fi off. I think it was starting to get strangled. Or throttled. I don't know what was happening. Or
It does it. It does it. I promise you. Every time. And here's the funny thing: it's only with the guys in the Cape that it really happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, sure. It's the mountain.
Yeah, it's a mountain. The hell with the mountain. There, Sean Wright says Alan Dinkels is mal. Well,
That's the honest truth. He's not wrong.
no, but that's the point. Why do you want to be on a boring Highveld freaking interview if you can be on a crazy mal interview? Huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Alan, have you got any new characters that you're working on? Is it different stuff that we can expect from you?
That's a good question. Actually, for this new show, one of the things that's made me laugh a little bit, is this wellness. Because obviously mental wellness is very important, and physical wellness. People say in a pandemic you should keep exercising, and if you can meditate or do yoga. So there's a lot of these wellness coaches who online, and they give you all the be centered, but be still, look inwards, but be part of a universal family. And the more I listen to that stuff, the more I think, yes, you're making this up on the fly. This makes less sense to me than some of the stuff Donald Trump says. So I've got the seed of a little character. I actually set some time aside early next week because I think there might be something fun there, just to create a kind of yoga guru. And see if there might be something. But the characters, I still love my Trevor Tor, who's the motivational speaker. He does those circle of life. He does flow charts. And I put one out. Actually, you can see it on my Facebook page where I took the word COVID-19 and break it down into all its constituent parts. And it's those kind of word things I've always loved. I was an English teacher for a while. Maybe that's the start of it. But as a comedian, words are powerful and silly and magnificent and brilliant things. And there's lots of fun to be had with that. So I'm going to be doing some more of that as well in the upcoming show.
There we go. That's brilliant.
Well, we're looking forward to it, man. You know what? Because I've seen you in so many different characters and stuff. And one thing I love is how you can completely just dive into a character and become totally that guy.
I suppose that's part of the actor training. I've been lucky in that for many years my comedian friends thought I was just an actor. All my acting friends thought I was a comedian. So I skirted that middle line, and I got to do lots of mad, silly things. And I suppose part of the acting training is you immerse yourself. You must gooi. It must be 1,000% or nothing.
So there's so many English teachers that become comedians. I mean, just in the UK, there's
that's right.
A lot of them, even musicians. I mean, Sting was an English professor,
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, so there's something. If you want to learn how to be funny and how to act well, become an English teacher. Where did you teach?
Listen, you're teaching 30 kids. It's an audience. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And they're forced to be there. They can't leave. How perfect is that?
Well, I would have loved to be in your class. My English would have been a lot better if I could laugh a bit. Because my English teachers they were so great at English. Let me tell you, Alan, that
the language was delicious.
Yeah, when I was reading the books, they were always telling me that they're the greatest player reading I've ever heard, Chris.
And you read it 3 times. You read it 3 times. FREE. 3 times.
Listen, I have the same thing because I did Afrikaans first language. Because I grew up in Vanderbijl Park, I had a lot of I spoke Afrikaans when I was very young. Then when we went to Cape Town, obviously I went to English schools but I remember we used to, like, my matric setwork book was Die Uurwerk Kantel. Do you remember that? I can't remember who the author was. And no one knew what is the Uurwerk Kantel. Not even Mrs. Kotze knew what the Uurwerk. And by the way, all Afrikaans in every school in the country, every Afrikaans department must have a Mrs. Kotze. That's actually in the Constitution. A lot of people don't know that. And if you don't have a Mrs. Kotze, you don't get funding from the government. This is actually
Juffrou Kotze.
Juffrou Kotze, and she always wore a big skirt with bananas and bees on it. And she would say things like, "Dit is bekoorlik." And no one knew what is bekoorlik.
The fuck is bekoorlik, juffrou?
Exactly. Ek voel bekoorlik. Hoe gaan dit? And so we had to do a mondeling, a mouthling on, I think that's the vertaling.
A mouthling,
A mouthling, on die Uurwerk Kantel. And all I knew is if I took the words of the title, die Uurwerk Kantel, and just used it over and over again, it sounded like I knew what the book was about. So if you did something like, "Dankie juffrou Kotse, ek het baie van die Uurwerk Kantel gehou." Dit is die kanteling van die werk wat van daai uur gewees het nie kon gedoen is nie, maar wat gekantel het aan dit wat gewerk het, was nie.
Ja.
Jou kanteling, sê ek, en sy sê, nee, ek is nie 'n kanteling nie. Ek is 'n werkende uurmens van dat wat kon gewees het nie, wat 88%. 88% because not even Mrs. Kotze knew what I was doing.
She was like, "Here, hierdie kind se Afrikaans is onoortreffelik. Hoor pragtig gebruik hierdie kind die taal."
Deewals, quite right. There's a meneer Kotze. They're much rarer than Mr. Kotzes.
That's the husband.
That's the husband. Exactly.
That's the husband.
Sometimes at our school we had 3 Kotzes, 2 Afrikaans teachers, one was a science teacher, and in order, some of the schools in our area didn't have a Kotze, so we had to de-Kotzify. You had to send off a Kotze to other schools to spread.
Jy moes hulle uitkots. Dis wat jy moes hulle uitkots dat hulle uit die stelsel uitkom daar by daai skool. Bliksem. Hoorie, maar it's funny that because you're talking about schools and stuff, like I was a Dutchie and I went to English schools and like drama school and stuff, and NSA, my best friend was a Chinese guy, and everybody in the hostel, I mean, there was 2 Chinese guys, a black dude, then a Russian guy, and it's a whole plethora of just different cultures. And the one day we decided we'll do a play for like it's like a pre-Christmas show. So every floor, I mean, there's guys doing art and there's guys doing music and then drama and dancing and stuff. So each floor had to do a Christmas play. I've never heard swearing like that at any fucking big show in my life. Just because we had free reign, we were in art school, we could use this opportunity to fluke the cock out of something. And boy, did we use it. I learned how to swear in Russian, Chinese, Swanat, Sutu. I could swear in any language. And most of the people that sat there, like, the teachers don't know, because the teachers are like, they all came out of the oude doos and cock. They didn't understand any of this cock. But us as kids, you pick up quickly on all these languages and stuff. Yeah. So the moment we did this show and you're swearing it, hey, Gaoshi Tao, and you're swearing it out in Mandarin or something. And the teacher's like, oh my God, these kids are using all these cultures so wonderfully. It's amazing. And he's just like, I just swore the fuck out of that Chinese guy. You don't want to fucking know.
I got to tell you, you've reminded me of a lovely story at our drama school. I was in 3rd year, and the new first year intakes had an exchange drama student from Japan. And I forget his name, but it was something like Dan Sun or some Dan Sun. And Dan Sun, well, he wasn't
not
that
Sun. Not that Sun.
Well. But that Sun spoke very little English and spoke very broken English. But he was quite an interesting performer, very interesting physically and rhythm. Anyway, but very polite, very part of that Japanese culture of you had to really invite him into a conversation. Otherwise, he was just very quiet. Anyway, we all clap into a combi and we're going off to Grahamstown, the drama school. There's 3 drama school productions. So we're in convoy. There's a combi and 2 cars. And we drive from UCT and we're halfway. We're probably at the we're probably at a Riviersonne End or something like that. And we're at a petrol station and we're now he's standing. Wayne, who's driving the big combi, parks the car, gets out and says to the guy, fill up, and we're going inside and everyone gets a cup of coffee. That son is standing by the combi and we're all standing in a group and he goes, Wayne, and he waves, and Wayne, yes, I'm just talking. He says, no problem. No. And he goes, no problems. So we chat a little bit and someone's having a cigarette. 10 minutes ago, he says, Wayne. He said, Wayne, I'll be with you now, Dutson. We're talking. He says, no problem.
No problem, I wait.
After about 15 minutes, we go back. He said, yes, what is it, Dutson? He says, car on foot. And he had reversed the car on his foot.
No.
While he was standing at the petrol station, and he was so polite. He was so polite that he stood there and let us finish our conversation, eat our soup, finish the cigarette. He said, no problems, and he said, car on foot. He went, moved the car. He said, thank you, and got back in the car. We laughed all the way to Grahamstown. That's politeness for you right there.
As dit nou boer ouetjie was, het hy jou gebliksem na die tyd.
Hy het jou fucking vensters uitgebliksem met pa. Wayne, fucking
jy fucking enter. Kom hier so.
Wayne.
You just no problems, no problems.
No
problem.
Watashiwa minamoto da. That is actually Japanese.
You
by the
South
way.
Africans so
Is
big,
it?
don't want any issues. Obviously you guys do this all the fucking time. I'll stand here.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that is a little bit of Japanese I learned in America from a Japanese friend.
What's that?
Ah, nice.
Watashiwa minamoto da.
Wat
What
betekent dit?
I cannot remember. But I remember because it was such a nice, so lekker rympie.
Ja.
Watashiwa
Ja,
minamoto da.
Lekker ritme.
Dude, dit
Ja.
klink net soos fucking kitchen appliances. Dis al wat ek al gehoor het. Dis
Oh,
straight.
shit. I just looked at the time.
Man.
That
Shit,
was fun,
Alan.
guys.
You know what?
Alan,
Oh.
absolute legend. Thank you so
Fucking legend.
much for joining us.
No problems. No problems.
Oh,
We don't stand on foot. It's okay.
No
Alan,
more
you know
food.
what? Thank you so much for giving us a bit of your time, man. And
Oh,
you know
that
what?
was fun.
I know the whole South Africa loves you, but just know this, that the SA Bros Army and us, we are totally behind you, man. And we can't wait to see you in the flesh and come and support you with all your live shows. And
Yes.
Brilliant.
actually, one thing that I didn't ask you that I really want to know is with the streaming for laughter, who else is going to be
Yeah.
in the show?
It's just
How
me.
many
I'm doing
comedians
stand-up.
is it?
It's me. I'm doing Johan van der Walt's going to make an appearance.
Hey.
There's going to Rob van Vuren. There are one or two little guest artists that I might
Yeah.
have, but I'm keeping it. It's very much just a solo show with a live audience with a couple of cutaways to pre-record. So if people are interested, you can buy tickets on Quicket. And you just look for Alan Committie or look for Streaming for Laughter. It's in 2 weeks' time on the 15th of
Yeah.
August. And the tickets are like 80 Rand. It's not even half a cigarette. Not even
Yeah.
half a cigarette.
And you know what, guys? Like you said, go check out his Facebook page. I'm sure all the information and stuff will be on there.
Yeah.
And join him, man. Like his page and enjoy more of this amazing human being's funniness, man.
Oh, thank you,
Well
guys. I appreciate it, man. So much.
Alan, we
Okay,
appreciate
Alan.
you.
Cheers,
Thank you
guys.
so much, my
Have a
brother.
nice night.
Cheers,
guys.
man. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Wat 'n lekker
What
show.
once again, my brother, you lost the occasion, you know, what? That I
Winnie.
find myself, yes.
Gaan dan, you find yourself?
I find myself thinking, hey, when we chatting to these guys, I find myself thinking like, how the bloody hell to this big guy with a beard, you get all these great guys and these amazing people. And I'm still blown away every time, man. It's so great.
Yes, exactly. Daar het ek my training tot. Ons het ons dan nou oor Asterix en Obelix gepraat en Dogmatics.
Yes.
Daar's hoop nou dit fucking doen. Ek haat dit as hy dit doen. Ekter. Kom straai dit weer. Hierso. Daar's Dogmatics. Kyk vir Dogmatics. Check daar.
Pisang.
Isang pisang. Ja, wat? Isang pisang banana, sweets.
Pisang popo.
Ja.
Dit
Guys,
was 'n rympie in die skool gewees, in die laerskool.
wat sê
Pisang
Nikki so?
popo.
Baby
Birthday present, please. Would love to
Would
watch
love
that.
to watch that. Wat is dit?
Ek het no clue. Ek sal
Ja.
al vra oor dit. Ek het dis obviously inside ding or something. Baby, birthday present, please.
Jou kak
Would
is
love to
geboek
watch
as ons
that.
nie speel nie. Doe daar. My maatjie gaan met 'n blou oog saam met my ry.
Wag,
Doe daar.
nou verstaan ek wat Nikki sê is. Sy soek 'n ticket vir daai show.
Birthday present, please. Would love to watch that. Got you.
Right. Daai hond sal jou fucking dood.
Ek sê vir jou. Guys,
Pisang's dangerous.
tomorrow. Boom,
Live.
bitches.
Live out of St. Lucia, the most beautiful place in South Africa. Ek weet almal sê die Kaap is die mooiste, but bra. Hulle was nog nie daar nie. En ek weet my Whitey is 'n ou wat van die wildtuin hou en ek hou van die see en daarso kom met alles saam. Dis 'n plethora van ons albei se liefdes. Ek kan nie wag. Ons gaan vir julle die snaakste kak wys na hierdie naweek. Ons gaan vir julle footage wys wat ons probably nooit op fucking lig moet sit nie, maar it's gonna be live. Môre aand is ons live van St. Lucia af.
Yes.
You know what? Once again, I've got to say thank you Franco Kalp en die ouens van Mahindra Pretoria North.
Yep.
Dankie Johan Lange en die ouens daarso in St. Lucia by Marlin Lodge. Ouens, go check out Marlin Lodge page. Join them and whenever this lockdown's over, go there, support them. They are phenomenal guys. Dis lekker dude, dis soos 'n family kuier. Hulle doen
Ek kan nie wag nie.
Hulle die naaste nie chalets nie, wat noem jy dit lodges? Dis beautiful. Daar's family kamers en alles. Dis amazing. St. Lucia, daar loop regte hippos daar rond. Nie hierdie ander goed nie. Regte hippos. Nie Sarah nie. Regte hippos, regte krokodille, fucking die luiperde steel ouens se honde uit die yards uit daarso. Dis hoe wild dit is. En nou gaan hierdie twee wilde boere daarso met ons dronkgatte. Daarso ons gaan night drives doen terwyl ons vrot is. En ons gaan dit alles film vir julle. En dude, dat kan nie wag nie, want dis in 'n park. Niemand kan ons arresteer nie. Hulle moer so.
Yeah. Cindy, we are going to party tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We are going to be DJing afterwards. So
If you think we will let you down,
where do you see my gear? My gear is not here. There's no gear. It's been packed. I'm ready. Chris is ready.
I'm going to pack the moment we are done here. And you know what? Ek kan nie meer wag nie, my bra. Ek weet nie hoe ek vanaand gaan slaap nie, maar ek sien jou môreoggend vroeg.
Ek gaan nou die bed klim.
Ja,
en ek sal slaap, my vriend.
Ek weet, jy sal vinnig. Ek gaan nog eers 'n movie kyk en stap. Ek kort net 5 ure se slaap. Dis hoe ek weet ek word oud. Maar my hele lewe deur ek kon laat slaap as ek gewerk het, want dan syp jy en dan slaap jy laat. Dis hoekom ek het nooit regtig babbelas experience nie. Maar nou, deesdae slaap ek soos 5 ure. Ek is nou genuine soos 'n ou toppie. Ek slaap 'n bietjie en dan as jy wakker en jy aan die go hou.
Hoorie, onthou jou camelpack. As jy my camelpack vergeet, dan vergeet ek jou.
Klaar ingepak is, Swarrie. Klaar.
Okay, alright.
Klaar.
Ek weet die mense, baie van die mense op ons show weet wat 'n camelpack is. Nee,
Ja,
is nie 'n
maar-
camel toe nie, Sean Wright, jou siek fok.
Hy het nog eens iets gesê nie.
Nee, maar ek weet hy gaan iets sê.
Camel what? Camel toe. Oh, Paul was eerste. Remember your camel toe, Chris?
Ja.
Oh God, I will remember my camel toe and my moose knuckle, Paul. Wat hy wil drie.
Oh, daai moesnakkel foto.
Ja, daar's nie 'n camel, dis 'n vette, ja.
Hoorie, kom ek wys dit gou vir die mense. Al julle mense wat nie siek goed kan handle nie, wel fok julle hier kom dit.
Sean Wright, camel toe, daar's hy.
Moesnakkel. As julle dog nie gesien het nie.
Is die KY gepak, Sean? KY is gepak, boetie. Ek en Whitey het groot planne. Ons gaan 'n hippo daar vastrek, boetie.
Dis ek ons gaan op donkie.
Ons gaan die donkie, ons gaan wille donkies voer daar, pappa. Dis mal.
Alright, julle wil weet wat se moes
vashou vir Whitey. Dit's fucking.
Jy's daai arme.
Want hy hippo is uit die water uit. Dis kom ons met KY vat. Jy weet hoekom pomp hippos in die water, né?
Want dis lekker slijmerig vir hulle.
Ja, hoe anders kry jy 'n 2 ton doos nat?
Okay, hierso. Mense, hierso. Die verskil tussen 'n camel toe en 'n moesnakkel.
Show us.
Here you go.
Damn, son.
Camel toe, moesnakkel.
Yes. That's a walrus lip. Or something.
Dis nie donkie voer daai nie. Dit is
Ek het al 'n moes gesien. Moes is groot, maar daai is groter as moesnakkel. Daai is
ons het Sean opgefok.
fuck.
Jy weet jy's goed as jy vir Sean kan tackle.
Guys, you know what? It's time for us to say goodnight and to get all our stuff ready. But you know what? We couldn't have done this without you. Our page is growing at a phenomenal rate now.
Over 7,500.
Yes, and it's dude, ons is amper op 8,000. Dit is so
bitches.
naby. So things are happening, and you know what? It's all because of you guys and making this possible. You guys, everybody sharing the pages and doing watch parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Keep it up. You know what? We love you more than friends. Look after each other, love each other, speak to each other, and be there for each other, man. And you know what? It won't hurt to give your mom a call or your dad a call now and then. Or as jy nie 'n ma en 'n pa het nie, fucking bel 'n oom of iemand vir wie jy baie lank terug gesien het. Sê net hallo. It makes a huge difference, man.
Guys,
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
we love you guys. Cheers.
Well, goodbye, everybody. From SA Bro.